All right, so moving on to the next segment, I'll be sharing my thoughts on Devin Haney vacating his titles at the 135-pound division. So we saw the news break on Thursday evening that Devin Haney has officially vacated his WBO, WBA, and IBF world titles at the 135-pound division in the sport of boxing on his quest of becoming a two-division world champion against Regis Prograis this weekend in the sport of boxing. Um, Obviously, you guys know that Devin Haney was the former undisputed champion at the lightweight division. He vacated 3 of those titles. If you guys are wondering where's the 4th title, Shakur Stevenson just won that just a few weeks ago when he became the new WBC lightweight champion against Edwin De Los Santos, when Devin Haney had to vacate that title because he was moving up to fight Regis Prograis at 140 pounds. So he vacated the rest of the titles that he had at the division, and now the lightweight division is heading into a new chapter that Devin Haney, the former undisputed champion, will no longer be in that division, and he's vacated the remaining titles that he's had left in the sport of boxing. So I'm not mad at Devin Haney. He did everything he needed to do at the lightweight division at 135 pounds. He went on to, after, well, let me start with that. Unfortunately, he won that WBC world title. He got the title emailed to him, unfortunately, but silenced the noise. He took that opportunity to be calling an email champion and ran with it, because he went on to defeat George Kambosos in an undisputed championship fight. Became the youngest undisputed world champion in the sport of boxing at just 23, 24 years of age. Defeated George Kambosos back-to-back times in his backyard in Melbourne, Australia, taking the titles from him the first time. Then a few months later, went on to successfully retain those titles against him. And then this year in 2023, in the month of May, he went on to defeat Vasily Lomachenko, a legend in the sport of boxing, and successfully defended those titles. So I think for a guy as big as Devin Haney is, as hard as it was for him to make the weight 135 pounds, we all know Devin Haney's a bigger guy, and he struggled making that weight. At times that he had to go and make the weight, he would come in looking like a skeleton. He didn't even look right. So I don't blame him for moving up in weight. I mean, he's a big guy, and he's still growing into his body frame. So I think it's best for him to move up. And I think Devin Haney's going to continue to move up. I don't know how long he's going to be at the 140-pound division. I heard him say a comment saying Regis Prograis, if he's successful, that would just be a pit stop, and he's looking to go up to all the way to the welterweight division. And if he goes up to the welterweight division, he's going to be looking forward to becoming a three-division world champion very soon. He has plans to potentially fight Keith Thurman in 2024, or fight Mario Barrios for potentially the vacated WBC welterweight title if Terence Crawford decides to vacate the rest of his belts at the welterweight division. So I think someone like Devin Haney, as big as he is, moving up to the welterweight division, I think he's a future welterweight for sure. It just is a matter of time of when. And it's going to be interesting to see what happens next for Devin Haney. But I don't blame him. I think he did everything he was supposed to do at the lightweight division. Former undisputed champion, and the first person to do that at the lightweight division in the 4-belt era. So congrats to Devin Haney on a tremendous run at the lightweight division. So what's next for the lightweight division in the sport of boxing? Right now you have Shakur Stevenson, who is the new WBC world champion. There's rumors and speculations about George Kambosos and Vasily Lomachenko fighting each other in 2024. That fight would probably take place in Melbourne, Australia, in that big stadium in George Kambosos' backyard. But there's rumors and speculations now that Devin Haney has vacated the title that fight would be for the vacant IBF world title at the division. The WBO and WBA world titles are still up for grabs in this lightweight division, which is bringing me to my next thoughts. What's my thoughts on Gervonta Davis not wanting the WBA world title? So I catch you guys up to speed. If you guys don't know, Gervonta Davis is a champion at the 135-pound division, but he's not labelized as a main world champion. Gervonta Davis is the WBA regular lightweight champion. It's not acknowledged as a real world title at the 135-pound division. He would be upgraded to the legit WBA world champion if he wants to, and he would be labelized as the email champion, which Gervonta Davis does not want that, and he does not want the WBA world title, as he has said on Twitter this past week. So Gervonta Davis, if you guys are mad at him, let's just call it what it is. Gervonta Davis does not care about the titles. Gervonta Davis is a prize fighter. He does not care about those titles, but he does care about his legacy. And he wants the big time fights. He wants the big time paydays. And we should know why he wants that. He learned from Floyd Mayweather. What did Floyd Mayweather do after he moved away from Pretty Boy Floyd? He went to Floyd Money Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather, Money Mayweather, didn't care about the titles in his second run in the sport of boxing. He only cared about the big paydays. He only cared about the big time fights, and he cared about finishing undefeated. And that's what Gervonta Davis wants to do. He cares about the big time fights. He cares about his legacy, but he doesn't care about the titles. And when you carry a championship in the sport of boxing, every time you step in that boxing ring, no matter what no matter if it's the WBC, WBA, WBO, or IBF world divisions, you have to pay a total of 3% to be a world champion in the sport of boxing. So Gervonta Davis doesn't want to pay 3%, and I personally wouldn't want to either if I was a boxer, and I have to give my earnings to be a world champion. The hell with that. Why do you think Floyd Mayweather never wanted to be an undisputed champion in the sport of boxing? Because you have to pay 3% per title. And that is the reason why Gervonta Davis does not care about the titles. He cares about his legacy and the big time fights over titles, because it's pointless to pay a 3% towards 3% of being a world champion in the sport of boxing. I think the sport needs to change that. I think it doesn't make sense. You already put the hard work and dedication in to be a world champion. The hell you got to pay 3% to be a world champion? That's something that boxing really has to work on in the future. But those are my thoughts on Devin Haney vacating all his titles as his quest to becoming a 2-division world champion. And those are my thoughts on Gervonta Davis not wanting the WBA world title.